Hello weirdos, welcome back to my channel. My name is EmmaAbe and you are watching EmmaAbe Books, and today we're going to be doing a textbook haul. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but had some issues with some of my textbook. They've taken a while to get to me and I don't even have all of them here right now, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Disclaimer, I cannot pronounce things. I probably will mispronounce things. It's all part of the lovely Wheel of Disabilities that I have. We're just gonna jump straight into the books. This semester I am taking 6 classes. Woohoo! The first class I'm going to talk about is Anthropology of Religion, and that one we did have to get a textbook, and so we had to get the Anthropology of Religion, What We Know, Think, and Question by Dr. Robert L. Winsler. This is the 2nd edition and this cost me $33.75. I've read a couple of chapters of these so far. We just recently had our first test, and not a lot of the information on the test came out of this, but sometimes it does, so gotta read this. Usually for my anthropology classes, the textbooks I have to buy don't really cost an extreme fortune, which is very nice. That will change later on in this book haul. Right now, our total for stuff that I've had to buy is $33.75. Next book I had to get is from my other anthropology class that I am taking this semester, called Intro to Linguistic Anthropology, and that is one of the 4 core classes that people majoring in anthropology have to take here at my university. You don't really have to take them in any specific order. I am currently a 3rd year and I'm just now getting to one of the intro classes, so it really doesn't matter. That book that we had to get, I've showed previously on my channel, is Living Language, An Introduction to Linguistic Anthropology by Dr. Laura M. Ahern. This is the 2nd edition and this cost me $42, which is slightly more expensive than the other anthropology book, but not too bad in the grand scheme of things. We do have to read this. That's required. We have to do quizzes every week on stuff we've read from here and other additional readings that we have to do, but we don't have to pay for those because those are PDFs online. With that book, that brings our total to $75.75. The next class I'll be talking about is my human sexuality class, which is not really required for either of my majors. It's just a general ed class. And we have to take like a social science class that is not anthropology. I chose to take human sexuality because I thought that would be a fun class. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, we have 5 textbooks that we needed for that class. 4 of them were recommended but not required, but I chose to get all of them for reasons I will touch on later in this video. The first book that we got was Yes Means Yes, Visions of Female Sexual Power in a World Without Rape by Jacqueline Friedman and Jessica Valenti. And this cost me $12.75. We are reading through this. If you can tell, I index all of the chapters so I can tell what chapter it is. So if my professor says read chapter X, then I can just go to chapter X and start reading. Easy access. I do that for all of my textbooks. The next book that I had to get for human sexuality, I actually got the most recent because of issues getting my last 2 textbooks. It's just been annoying and I'm kind of frustrated with the system because I ordered these textbooks over a month ago and I still haven't received all of them. The next book I had to get is The Guide to Getting It On by Dr. Paul Joinay. It's also illustrated. I'm not going to show you any of the illustrations because that's a surefire way for this video to get demonetized real fast. But this book cost me $21.75. And it's a thick book too. I was not expecting this book to be as thick as it was. And we've started to read all of these yellow ones here. They're all factual information on how to help pleasure you and your partner or partners. This is fun. I think this will be an interesting book to peruse outside of a class context. The next book I got for this class is Urban Tantra, Sacred Sex in the 21st Century. This is by Barbara Peronellas. This book cost me $18.99, and this is the only book that I got this semester that was new, only because they didn't have a used version of this, so all of the prices that I have been listing have been for used prices, except for this one. I've never really been introduced to the concept of urban Tantra. I'm kind of interested to explore that later in the semester, if we ever get to it. Right now, this class just feels like a slog. I want it to be more fun than it is right now. The next book I had to get for this class is called Discovering Human Sexuality, the second edition by Dr. Simon Levy, Dr. Janice Baldwin, and Dr. John Baldwin. This book cost me $88.50. This is my most expensive textbook so far at almost $100. Considering the size and how floppy it is, that eek! To be fair, it's not as expensive as some of the other books that I have had to get for class. We have been reading sections out of this. One week we were assigned 3 chapters to read, which is over 100 pages, and I was like, that's ridiculous. This book was the only required textbook for my human sexuality class. The last book that I had to get for my human sexuality class I don't actually have, which is a whole separate issue. That is called The Ethical Slut. I will insert a picture of it here. Don't remember who it was written by, and I didn't write that down, so that's bad on me. Yeah, so that book cost me $12.75. and I'm really hoping to get it soon. As of this date, I'm filming this on the 29th of September, and I still have not received the book, and I ordered it on the 25th of August. Hey weirdos, so I told you that I would update you when I got my last textbook, and here it is, The Ethical Slut by Janet W. Hardy and Dossie Easton. And this technically isn't the correct version of it. I was supposed to get the second edition, but this is the third edition, and I was just kind of really frustrated. It took me almost 5 weeks, I think, to get this book. I was really just done. I just wanted to walk away with a book. I went to my university's bookstore today because I hadn't heard anything in a couple of days. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? What's the updates on my book? What's been going on? Because I'd heard nothing, and they gave me this one, and I was like, okay, I guess it's fine. And you can tell I got it today. I haven't even indexed the book yet, so I'm gonna do that after I finish this video. I filmed the textbook haul yesterday. I guess if I just waited a day I would have had this, but it's fine. With all of my books for my human sexuality class totaled up, that brings the price total to $230.49, not including tax. We're not even done yet. I have 2 more classes. Next book is one that I don't actually have a physical copy of, and that is for my Information Security and Assurance class, and we had to get Elementary Information Security by Dr. Richard E. Smith. That costs $151.50, and that is getting a used version from the bookstore of my university. Luckily, I decided to wait. With that included, that brings our total up to $381.99 for my classes. Eek. My very last class that I had to buy textbooks for was my Discrete Structures class, and the order is complicated because the book that was posted on our course website was different than what the professor actually wanted. On the course website, it was listed that we had to buy Discrete Structures with Applications, pictured here, by Dr. Susan Epp, and that costs $260.25. When I saw that price tag, I nearly had a heart attack, and I was like, wait, we are going to wait. There's no way I'm paying almost $300 for a textbook. Luckily, when I got to class, we did not have to buy that textbook. The textbook we actually have to use is Discrete Mathematics for Computer Science by Dr. Gary Haggard, Dr. John Skulupt, and Dr. Sue Whitesides. I've seen lots of different prices thrown around on the internet for used prices. This book is not actually sold through our university website, which just makes things so much more complicated. I was looking on Amazon and EmmaAbe Books, and I'm seeing lots of different numbers from like over $300 to like $5, so I've decided to ballpark it in the middle and say that that was going to cost about $150. Let's talk totals. In total, if I had bought the wrong book for my discrete structures class, that would bring my total cost for textbooks this semester up to $642.24. Eek. That is a big price tag. That is the most money I've ever had to spend on books. Luckily, I did not spend that money. I waited to buy my discrete structures textbooks and to buy all my textbooks until I was actually in class and was able to verify with my professor. If I'd bought all of my correct textbooks, then I would have spent $531.99. Oh, that is still a big price tag, and that's still most money that I've ever had to spend on books. That's just crazy. Luckily, I waited all of my classes, and for my discrete structures class, I was able to save myself $150 off of that price because I found the textbook online as a PDF version for free. This is what our professor suggested that we do. We've only really used that textbook for the homework problem. That brings our total down from $531.99 to $381.99. Since I waited, I also got to my information security and assurance class, and the professor informed me that this book was available through one of the online websites that our university provides to us called Safari. That saved me another $150. That brings us down a total of over $300 that I would have to have spent on textbooks for 2 classes alone. The total amount of money I spent this semester for textbooks without tax was $230.49. And with tax, that bumps it up to $254.40. That is still a lot of money. It's obnoxious. Textbooks cost so much money. Many times you can't take the classes and do well without buying the textbook. In my Anthropology of Religion class, we have to buy that textbook because half of the information on the test is going to be from the textbook. So if you don't have the textbook, you're kind of screwed. I did buy most of my textbooks used, so I could have saved even more money if I decided to rent, but I personally am a believer in personal libraries. I've decided to buy my textbooks, but that money that I spent did not come out of my bank account. It did not come out of my parents' bank account. I'm extremely lucky as a student in America going to university. I have, and I'm very fortunate and lucky to have, a scholarship. And this scholarship awards me a textbook allowance. I get about $600 per semester for my textbooks. The way that the scholarship works out, I get $500 of that money in form of a bookstore gift card. About 100 of that is given to me directly deposited. I have to go through the university bookstore to buy my books. If I don't use that money, if I don't buy the textbooks, that money just sits there on the gift card. So I just want to acknowledge the privilege that I have to not really have to worry about where this money for my textbooks comes from. And I see how much my friends who do not have a book allowance or money or parents who can give them money for textbooks, where this money is coming out of their own pockets. It's ridiculous. The university system in America is fundamentally broken. And it's deeply, deeply upsetting to me that someone has to go into tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt just to get an education. I've been in countries all around the world where I've told them just the price of my textbooks and they freak out because it's so incredibly expensive. Some advice that I will give to students who are going to university is, when it comes to textbooks specifically, wait until you get to class. Ask your professor if you need the textbook. Normally what I do at the beginning of the semester is I see what textbooks I need and I buy them. The only reason I didn't do that this semester was because when I originally totaled it up and I saw that it was more than my book allowance, I freaked out. I use that book allowance for other things. I use it to buy other books. For instance, the Radium Girls. I've previously used the money in the past to buy Christmas presents for my family. Because otherwise, without that money, I don't think I would have been able to afford anything really for my family. No one should have to choose between getting an education and their next meal. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Let me know if you have any questions sort of about buying books. There's this website that I like that's called Cheap Textbooks. I'll link it below, so if you want to be able to easily compare prices, there you go. I highly recommend doing the used book route or the rent a book route. Like, share, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and let me know if there's anything else that you want me to talk about. Leave it all down in the comments below. Alright, bye, see you next week. My anthropology textbooks are way cheaper than my computer science textbooks, so pro tip, if you want to save money and not have to buy a ton of textbooks or expensive textbooks, do and study anthropology. It's really fun. I like it a lot. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Blah, blah, blah.